What's going on, everybody? Today is a beautiful day filled with love, prosperity, potential. My name is Stephen Clark. In my first video, Who is Stephen Clark? I told you that I'm all about providing value. I'm all about providing, amazing content for you as a viewer. If you haven't watched that video, it's definitely in the link in the description. Definitely go watch that video after you have watched this video. It explains exactly who I am, what I'm looking to accomplish, and, how I feel I can be of assistance to you. And today I'm actually answering to the number 3, how I feel I can be of assistance to you. One of the topics I'm going to be covering, or actually the topic that I'm going to be covering, is the top 5 objections and how to overcome them in any business that you were promoting, that you were, in, or what have you. So let's jump right into this. This video may be around 15 minutes or so, but I definitely encourage you to sit down, watch this video in full, take some notes, because I feel that once you start getting these objections and you know how to handle them with ease and professionalism, you're going to become a better marketer, you're going to become a better leader, and you're going to become the person that people want to do business with. And I want to help you with that. So let's jump right into this, all right? So the objection number 1 is I don't have the money. We get this quite frequently, in this industry. All of these objections, actually. And, we get some others that aren't so common. Number 2, how much money have you made? I love that one, actually. And I'm going to show you how to handle that with precision. Number 3, I don't have the time. We're all busy bees these days. And, some people, they're going to use this as an excuse, as an objection, and I'm going to show you how to overcome that. Number 4, I need to talk to my spouse. You may be talking to somebody that's married, engaged, or, they have a girlfriend or boyfriend. Doesn't matter. I need to talk to my spouse. That's another common one. And number 5, I need to think about it. All 5 of these are objections, and what they're designed or basically used to do is to stall you in the current conversation, to stall the prospect from making a decision on the spot. And what you need to do is, if you overcome those objections, you're going to find that people are going to be like, okay, you know what? I feel more comfortable because they're not selling me, in this business or about this business, about this product or service or whatever. They're actually getting my answers. My questions answered, excuse me. But most importantly, what I really want you to focus on here is always relate to the prospect first. Use things like, Bob, I understand your concern. I understand how you feel. That's a great question. Let me answer that in a minute. Make sure you answer their questions so that way they don't feel like you're avoiding them. All right. So relate to them first and then handle the objection. So let's jump right into these a little more in depth. Number 1, I don't have the money. Again, relate to them. Bob, I understand you feel you don't have the money, but here's how I feel I can help you have more than enough money. And then go into handling the objection. When I get this objection, I ask them one of 2 questions, all right? I ask them, what's their dream car? Bob, I understand you feel like you don't have the money, but let me ask you, what's your dream car? They may say, a 2014 Mercedes-Benz C-Class. Okay, excellent. Bob, how much does that cost? I don't know, roughly $80,000. I don't know what a C-Class really costs, but just throwing out a random number there. Get them talking about their dream car. Why do you want that car? What's the reasonings behind it? So on and so forth. Ask them, 3 or 4 questions about it. Get them talking about their dreams, and they're going to feel more comfortable around you. Number 2, what's your dream house? They may say a 10 bedroom, 8.5 bath on the beaches of Hawaii. Okay, why, Bob? Why is that 10 bedroom house, with 8.5 baths on the beaches of Hawaii? Why is that your dream home? Again, get them talking about their dreams. And I just said that. Then ask them, for reasons why that's their dream car or why that's their dream house. And then after they give you, those reasons, I always sit there and I say, okay, you know what, Bob? Your dream car is a 2014 Mercedes-Benz C-Class. It costs $85,000. And the reason why you like that car is because it makes you feel good about yourself. VIPs drive it, or, whatever they say, I repeat back to them. And they're going to be like, yeah, that's exactly right. Well, okay, Bob, why don't we get you on a plan of action where we can get you into that 2014 Mercedes-Benz C-Class? Or why don't we get you on a plan of action that gets you into that 10 bedroom, 8.5 bathroom house on the beaches of Hawaii? Remember, plan of action, not goals. Plan of action. Why don't we get you on a plan of action? That's establishing to that prospect that you are a leader. You're going to devise a plan of action for that prospect to get them into their dream home or into their dream car. Number 2, how much money have you made? I crack up every time I hear this, objection. And again, this is my favorite out of all 5 that we're talking about today. And when a prospects ask me how much money I've made, this is what I follow up with. Bob, I understand, that's a great question and all, but let me ask you something, Bob. How much of my money can you spend? How much of my money can you spend? That's going to throw off the prospect every single time. I'm willing to bet it. Why? Because of the simple fact that 99% of the marketers out there will sit there and say, well, I haven't made any money. If they're new to the business, or, oh, I've made $500 in the last 2 days, or, oh, I've made $10,000 in the last 30 days. They may even make up a bogus number. Don't do that. You're setting yourself up for failure every single time. Ask the simple question, well, Bob, let me ask you, how much of my money can you spend? I'm telling you, you're going to catch that prospect off guard every single time. Objection number 3, I don't have the time. We hear this quite frequently as well. We're all busy bees. And let's jump right into it. When a prospect tells me I don't have enough time, I ask them a series of questions at this point in time to really dig in to find out how much time they really have. They may be spending 20 hours a week watching TV. Well, that 20 hours a week can be invested into their business, invested into their future, and they don't even realize that yet. So it's your job as a leader to bring that to their attention. I asked the very first question, or, again, relate to them. Bob, I understand you feel you don't have time, but let me ask you a few questions. So, Bob, how many hours are in a week? They may not know the answer right off the top of their head, but you do because you watched this video. 168 hours are in 1 week. Okay, they're going to be like, all right, understandable, great, whatever, their response is. And if I know that after speaking with that person, that prospect, with Bob, in this case, he's working a job. So, Bob, how many hours a week do you work in your job? Let's say he says 40. Okay, take note. 40 hours a week. I may ask him, Bob, do you have any kids? If so, how many hours a week do you make sure that your kids are taken care of? Let's say they say 12 hours a week. I'm just throwing out random numbers here, guys. It's going to be different for every single prospect, so you need to keep that in mind. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, they get 8 hours of sleep a night or whatever. Let's just say 56 hours of sleep in a week. And their commute time to and from work each day throughout the week totals up to 14 hours a day. 14 hours a week. So in this example, Bob has told me he's working 40 hours a week. He's spending roughly 12 hours a week with his kids, making sure that they're taken care of, they're fed, they're, on the school bus, all of that good stuff. He's sleeping 56 hours a week. He's commuting 14 hours a week. That's a total of 122 hours. Now, we know that there are 168 hours in a week. He's, only told us about 122 hours. So what that tells us is that there are 46 hours that are unaccounted for here in this situation with Bob. Bring that to the prospect's attention. Maybe they'll start rattling off other things, who knows. But then sit there and say to the prospect, okay, you know what, Bob? There are 46 hours right now that you've told me that are unaccounted for. Are you willing to invest at least 20 hours a week into your business, or whatever time frame you may see fit? Let's say they have less hours. So are you willing to invest 10 hours a week into your business to better yourself, to better your future, to better your life, to for you and your family? So very, very critical. Break down that, because again, if they're spending 20 hours a week, let's say watching TV, after they get home, that's 20 hours a week that they could be investing in their business. So that way they can quit that job. So that way they can save time on commuting, sleep more, spend more time with their kids, all of that fantastic stuff. And again, it's your job as a leader to bring that to their attention. So number 4, I need to talk to my spouse. I'm going to show you a couple ways how to handle this. Relate to them. Again, Bob, I understand you need to talk to your spouse. What's your spouse's name? We haven't really talked about her. We've talked about you. But what's your spouse's name, Bob? He may say Susan. All right. Well, Bob, do you run all of your decisions by Susan? Every time you need to make a transaction or something of that nature? Well, yes. Okay. Well, what if all 3 of us, me, myself, Stephen Clark, Bob, and Susan, what if all 3 of us got on the phone together? I answered all of your questions all at once. I put yourself and her at ease. Would that help you make a decision to partner with me today? Perfect way to handle that. They may say yes or no, depending on the prospect. Scenario B. Okay, Bob, I understand you need to talk to your spouse. What's your spouse's name? Her name's Susan. Okay, so if we got you started today, right now, and after I mentor you over, let's say a couple weeks or whatnot, and you get your first check, how would Susan feel after you show her that you just made your first check? How would she feel? Oh, she'd be ecstatic. She'd be excited for me. Exactly, Bob. That's what I'm trying to bring to your attention. So let's get you started. Again, avoiding that objection by bringing to their attention that you're willing to mentor them and you're willing to take them under their wings, not necessarily being manipulative here. So please, disregard that thought right off the bat. Scenario B. Storytelling will hypnotically get them to believe in themselves enough to make a decision without needing to talk to their spouse. So if you sit there and you can say, somebody in your upline or somebody, in your team or somebody in the business opportunity that you're promoting, in this case, I just came up with a random name, Kevin, and, there's somebody out there that you know of that has, made a ton of money before they even told their spouse. Tell that prospect that story. Hey, look, Bob, I understand, you need to talk to your spouse, but I want to tell you this quick story about my friend Kevin, who made a ton of money, before he even, mentioned it to his spouse what he was doing. Again, storytelling will hypnotically get them believing in themselves enough to make a decision today, right now, without needing to talk to their spouse, without needing to verify or get their spouse's permission. So number 5, I need to think about it. Okay, Bob, I understand you need to think about it. I just want to let you know, that I have a special bonus going on right now for anybody who gets started within the next 48 hours. What I'm willing to do is I'm willing to give you this piece of software that allows you to post on Facebook, and in different groups and whatnot, advertising your business automatically, where you're literally going to wake up one morning and have 20 messages, 20 friend requests and 108 notifications, or whatever that bonus is. List some features of that bonus and how it's going to benefit that prospect, how it's going to save them time, money, effort, whatever it is. And then after you let them know of those features, make sure that your prospect is aware that after 48 hours is up, they won't receive the bonus. Once it's gone, it's gone. Be very clear about that. Regardless if they join 49 hours later, be very clear that once that 48-hour time frame is gone, the bonus is gone as well. Make sure they're very aware of that. And some people may not have bonuses to offer. Well, then you go into scenario 2. Okay, Bob, I understand you need to think about it. But to me, Bob, to me, it sounds like you may have some questions. So what I'm willing to do is, I want to hear all your questions. I got a pen and a piece of paper right here with me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jot down all of your questions, and I'm going to answer them all at once. What that's telling them is that's telling them that, okay, you know what, they're willing to answer all my questions. They may start going into how does the comp plan work and all that stuff. And if you have a video that describes that stuff, answer with that once you start answering, their questions. But make sure that you have a pen and piece of paper available to you anytime that you're talking to a prospect, regardless of over the phone, Skype, a hangout, a chat. Does not matter. Pen and paper on your desk taking notes about that prospect, so that way you can reiterate that information back to them. So again, in this scenario, okay, Bob, I understand you need to think about it. To me, it sounds like you may have some questions, Bob. So what I'm willing to do is I have a pen and piece of paper available right now. I want you to ask your questions. I'm going to jot them down, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to answer them for you one by one. So that way it just makes it easier. You don't forget your questions, and it just makes it easier on both of us. So, Bob, what's your first question? He may say, how much money can I make? Or, he'll start rattling off questions. And then, once they've come to the end of their questions, you can sit there and say something like, okay, Bob, your question is how much money can I make? Answer that very precisely. Something along the lines of, well, Bob, I can't really tell you how much money you're going to make, but what I can tell you is this, that what you put into this business is what you'll get out of this business. Something along those lines. So there you have it, the top 5 objections and how to overcome them in any business. Again, my name is Stephen Clark. How you can contact with me and connect with me is, all of this information on the screen here is in the description below. Please, if you found this video helpful, if you enjoyed, watching this video, if you took notes, definitely hit the like button and leave a comment. I really want to know your feedback, what you think about these videos, if they were helpful, and definitely subscribe. I really feel I have something to offer here for you guys. And, if you're subscribed, guess what? You're going to get notified every time I release a new video. And again, I'm all about helping you succeed as an internet marketer. Again, today is a beautiful day filled with love, prosperity, and potential. My name is Stephen Clark. Anything the mind can conceive, bring itself to believe, and most definitely and most certainly can achieve. You make it a fantastic day. Bye for now.